The coffee shop was busy. People chatted, coffee machines hissed, and the smell of fresh espresso filled the air. But one man standing near the door wasn't here just for coffee. His name was Elijah Bennett, and he owned Brew Haven, one of the biggest coffee chains in North America. Today, though, he wasn't here as the boss. He was here undercover, to see if his employees were treating customers the way they should. That's when he saw her. A blonde barista named Brooke leaned against the counter, scrolling on her phone. The line of customers stretched long, but she didn't seem to care. Elijah stepped forward and smiled. "Excuse me, could I get some help?" Brooke barely looked up. With a loud sigh, she muttered, "I'm busy. Wait like everyone else." Elijah blinked in surprise. He stepped back and watched. That's when he noticed something even worse. Brooke treated white customers with warm smiles and friendly conversation. But when people of color reached the counter, she turned cold and dismissive. She rushed through their orders and barely looked at them. Elijah's stomach twisted. How long had this been happening? How many people had left this store feeling unwelcome? This wasn't just bad service. It was something much worse. He had seen enough. But this wasn't over. Not even close. Elijah had built Brew Haven with one goal: to create a coffee shop where everyone felt welcome. But now that mission had been broken. Back at his office, he looked through customer complaints and employee reports. What he found made him furious. There were dozens of complaints about Brooke. Customers said she was rude, dismissive, and unfair. And yet, nothing had been done. Why? He called in the store manager, Lauren. She shifted uncomfortably as he asked why Brooke was still working there. "She's popular with some of the team," Lauren admitted. "I didn't want to cause trouble." Elijah frowned. "Ignoring a problem doesn't make it go away, Lauren. It makes it worse." Lauren sighed. "I know. I just didn't know what to do." Elijah shook his head. "Then let me show you." A week later, Elijah walked into the same Brew Haven store. But this time, he wasn't in a hoodie. He was in a sharp business suit. Customers and employees fell silent as they recognized him. "Can I have everyone's attention?" His voice was calm but firm. Brooke glanced up, bored, until she realized who he was. Her face turned pale. "My name is Elijah Bennett," he said. "I am the CEO of Brew Haven." Gasps filled the room. Brooke's phone slipped from her hand and hit the counter. "Last week, I visited this store undercover," he continued. "I wanted to see how customers were treated. What I saw was unacceptable." His eyes locked onto Brooke. "You treated some customers with kindness and others with disrespect. That is not what Brew Haven stands for." Brooke stammered. I didn't know it was you." Elijah shook his head. "It shouldn't matter who I am. Every customer deserves respect." He turned to Lauren. "Being a leader means making tough choices. You had a chance to stop this, and you didn't. That changes today." Lauren nodded quickly. "I understand." Elijah faced the staff. "Starting now, every Brew Haven employee will go through diversity and inclusion training. We will not allow discrimination in our stores." Then he turned back to Brooke. "You are dismissed." Brooke's mouth fell open. "Wait, I can change." "You had your chance," Elijah said firmly. Brooke slowly removed her apron, knowing she had lost her job. The other employees stood in silence, realizing this was bigger than just one person. This was about fairness and respect for all. By the next morning, the story was all over social media. People praised Elijah for standing up for what was right. Customers shared their own experiences, some good, some bad. Conversations about fairness and respect spread across the country. Elijah sat in his office, looking out over the city. He knew this wasn't the end. There was still more work to do. Brew Haven wasn't just about coffee. It was about community. It was about justice. And as long as Elijah was in charge, it always would be.